Well, D23 just landed and Disney dropped some bombs, and we're going to talk about it. So,
come with us.
Hey guys, wanted to interrupt this video to let you guys know that we are affiliated with Hoka shoes. If your feet are hurting or from walking around, standing in line a long time, these shoes are perfect for theme parks. We wear them all the time when we go.
They're excellent from walking 10,000 steps a day to just standing in these long lines. They are perfect. They are the go-to shoe for us for sure, and we hope that you enjoy them too.
Yep, and they keep our feet fresh and ready to go when we are walking, or even if you want to use them for running as well, they are solid shoes. So anyway, click the link in the description box below to get yours today. It really helps us out, bring quality content to you guys. So, all right, let's get back to the video. Hey guys, welcome back to BA Adventures.
Hi.
Well, today we are talking about one of the biggest things that has happened in the theme park world, and that is D23. And some of you are probably going, what in the world is D23? Ash, as the super Disney fan, she's a far more Disney fan than I am. I will let her explain what D23 is.
So what does it stand for? D is for Disney, and 23. Disney was founded in 1923. So boom, it is the official Disney fan club essentially. And it is the Comic-Con of Disney. You get panels, you get exhibits, but most importantly, you get announcements. And those announcements vary from movies, music, parks, cruises, but most importantly, theme parks. They make huge announcements for international parks, but most importantly for us, America.
Absolutely. And so she says the international parks, and we are not going to talk about those today because our dynamic of videos only hits the U.S. And so we are just talking about Disneyland, California. Now, we have not been.
Not yet.
Not yet. We really want to go, and we do plan on going eventually. It is in the plan. It's on the bucket list. And then we may expand to the international parks later on. But for now, we are going to talk about that one first, followed by Walt Disney World down in Orlando, which we all know and love, and we have
frequent quite a bit.
Yes, we do frequent quite a bit. And if you haven't seen those videos, they are right up here. So, that being said, we are going to start with a few things first that were announced. We are not going to talk about movies, only theme parks and stuff. So, first off, we are going to talk about Disneyland and their Magic Kingdom area, which is just called Disneyland. Yeah. So, Ash, would you like to take the lead on that one? Because you love Walt Disney.
I do. So at Disneyland, right now, next year is going to be the 70th anniversary.
70th, yeah.
So we know Disney loves a great celebration. And with that is coming a new Walt Disney audio animatronic show, which is going to debut for the anniversary, which I think is special because it has Walt as it. And I love when Disney pays any respect or honor to Walt.
It is the first time Walt is getting an animatronic as well.
Yes, and I cannot wait to see that.
So it is also going to be taking place with the Abraham Lincoln attraction, and those are going the Hall of Presidents area, and it is going to be alternating.
Yeah.
They said. So you may catch it, you may not at a certain time, but I think they'll tell you ahead of time.
They're going to certainly make some more announcements, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would hope so, or at least give dates when the Walt attraction is going to be there. So next up, some Splash Mountain news, or now known as Tiana's Bayou. However, Walt Disney World has opened their Tiana's Bayou and replaced their Splash Mountain as their construction has been complete. However, the completion of the Tiana's Bayou in in Disneyland out in California will be November 15th of this year and will be open to everybody then. So, yeah. Yep. So anyway, we're going to work our way now over to Disney's California Adventure, which is a shared park right there next to Disneyland there on the same property. Kind of like how Universal is connected. So anyway, we're going to talk there, and we're going to talk about Avengers Campus. So as many of you may have seen if you have been to Disneyland and have experienced Avengers Campus, there is a section right next with a giant wall. And apparently Disneyland fans and frequent goers have been asking, what's behind the wall? Well,
they told us.
D23 answered. And there are going to be 2 new rides going into this area.
It's a huge area to have that many.
Yeah, Yeah, we've looked at the area over Google Maps because we haven't been, so we're like, oh wow, that is a great spot to have something. So and they're both going to be Stark Industries related, which means that we're going to talk about the Stark Flight Lab, which is going to be one of the attractions. Going to be one of like the attraction that you can kind of see as you go in. It's going to be kind of a simulated flight thing where you're like in a little arm bar bouncing you around, and my favorite Marvel character is returning as Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is reprising his role as Tony Stark for this project, and I think
actually he tested out some of the ride too.
And he did test out some of the
I thought
rides.
that was so cool. They included photos
With none other than Disney CEO Bob Iger. They shared those at D23. I will try and find those photos. If they are there, they are going to be posted right now in front of you so that you guys can see that. Hopefully I find them. So anyway, that being said, the other ride is
going to be Avengers Infinity Defense. And so that is kind of set up where you have different storylines going on. You can possibly meet King Thanos. So that sounds exciting, honestly.
Yeah, I think when they were talking about it, I think that King Thanos was like your major guy to like go after the whole time. But your storyline is going to change, so you're going to meet different heroes.
Right.
Like you could run into Ant-Man and Black Panther, or Captain America and Thor, or Ant-Man and Thor.
It makes it more rideable.
But you're not going to run into Thor and Thor. Unless it's Lady Thor. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully Deadpool's there.
They have showed photos of the ride vehicles, and they are extremely similar to Universal Studios' Spider-Man and
Transformers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see. I'm super excited about it, and I'm going to be following that one pretty closely, honestly. So, and then, so they do have some Galaxy's Edge news. However, you're going to wait until we talk about Walt Disney World's Galaxy's Edge, because it's going to happen in both of them. So we want to save that for when we talk about that for the Walt Disney World one. So stick around later for that one. So anyway, we're going to talk about one of your favorite areas from Walt Disney World is actually getting a spot in Disneyland. So you go ahead, you can talk about that.
Avatar Land. Avatar is coming to Disney Land/DCA, and it is going to be based around the second movie, which is Way of Water, which I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be neat.
So that being said, obviously there's going to be a boat ride involved.
Yeah.
With that, they've even shown some concept art, and there's a massive creature just coming out of the water.
They're like,
really awesome.
They're kind of whale thingies in the movie.
The whale thingies. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure there's a technical term.
So there is an actual name for them. They do talk about them. It's like one of the biggest things in the movie, and we can't remember.
They look like whales.
We haven't watched it for so long, but yes, they do reminisce whales. So all right, and then finally, there is going to be a Coco attraction at DCA.
I'm really excited about that. That is so cool. DCA does a lot of stuff around Coco, and I think it's cool that they're going to get a ride.
Yeah, and the concept art also looked like a boat ride. I really hope that it's a little bit more than that, personally. Maybe it'll be like Atlantis at SeaWorld, where it's like a boat ride, coaster ride.
Oh.
That'd be kind of cool. So, anyway.
And that's set for construction in 2026.
Oh, yes.
So they've got a couple of years for even construction to start, which I don't like when they make announcements like that. I get excited about things, but I'm also like, is it really going to happen?
Correct.
So.
Now that concludes everything at Walt Disneyland, or oh my gosh, I keep messing this up. At Disneyland Resort out in California. So if you are a Disneyland fan for California and you're like, no, Disney World, well, I know you guys didn't get a whole lot announced
this year.
And that's fine. The thing is, Disney World is having to compete. And Disney World dropped a lot.
Yeah.
Because Disney World is competing against Universal Studios new park, which we will talk about in a later video. So be sure to subscribe for that so that you guys don't miss that. It really helps us out. And guess what? Subscribing costs $0.
So subscribe. Help us
please
out.
Subscribe. Help us out. Speaking of Walt Disney World, we're going to move on to that now, since we have moved on from Disneyland. And we are going to go to which park first?
Epcot.
Yep. We're going to start with the one that had the least amount of announcements because it has had more new things than the rest of them and more recent changes. So which makes sense from a business standpoint. I get it. Epcot's popular. We added some things. It has the second newest ride there, I think.
It's got several new rides, I feel like, and new updates and stuff. So,
and when we say new, we mean like within the last 5 years.
Yeah. So with that, Spaceship Earth is getting a lounge, and that's going to be opened in next summer.
Yep.
Test Track will be reimagined with Chevy, and it's going to be in 2025.
Right, and there has been some concept art floating out there along the internet, and it looks like it's more of a forest theme. When you come out, like into the open air, instead of it just being kind of bland and on like a racetrack of seeing nothing, and then you go around, oh wow, they have some Chevy cars parked down there. That's cool.
Parking
the
lot.
Track is like a parking lot. The track is actually going to change a little bit, they said, and it's going to be more like you're kind of in the woods. So that'll be kind of neat. So, all right. And then the smallest park at Walt Disney World.
It's getting some updates.
It's getting some updates and some new attractions.
So Disney has announced Animal Kingdom is transforming within the Dino Land area, but we didn't know exactly what was occurring.
Correct.
And with that, 11 acres is going to be taken up for it.
And it's going to be the Tropical Americas land, and it's also going to be called in a little area called the Pueblo Esperanza, which is going to feature a quick service restaurant and a carousel.
And the carousel is going to have animals, like carved animals.
That's cool.
Yeah, it sounds kind of interesting, like the favorite animals of Disney, and it's going to be carved into like this like wood look is what they were explaining, which sounds interesting. So,
with the Pueblo Esperanza and the whole animal thing, there is a recent movie that came out during COVID that Ash absolutely loves as well, and it is
Encanto. We are getting to see inside of the oh my
god, inside of Casita. And this has been rumored for a while.
Yes, it has, and I'm super excited because it's official. It's happening. So basically, the story takes place with Antonio, who has received his special gift, which he can speak to animals. And so we get to see inside of his room. We're going to explore it. And awesome. It's going to be transformed into a rainforest.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited about that. I think that is such a cool idea. It's very unique, and I cannot wait.
Absolutely. I'm kind of excited about it too. That's going to be neat. Like when we were there, we kind of saw Dino Land USA and went, oh, we're going this way.
There was nothing there to hold us there.
Correct. Now that might, because we can go, okay, that makes sense. We can go do that. No problem. So, and speaking of that, as it's being changed to Dino Land USA, we are jumping into now Dinosaur, the ride. It is being rethemed. That has been confirmed. However, with this entire thing, it is going to be changed in phases. And it sounds like phase 1 is to get rid of Dino Land USA first and get Encanto in there. Because it is the more popular thing. People love the dinosaur ride and it still gets its love. I mean, we went and rode it twice.
I think so. Once
or twice we rode it. And it is going to be the least amount of maintenance to change, in my opinion, because you're going to be using the same ride vehicle. However, the entire outer structure will change to a Mayan temple, and it'll be Indiana Jones themed.
With a whole new story.
Yes.
Like, it's something that we haven't seen in the movies or anything, which I think that's exciting.
Well, and that's the same thing with Disneyland out in California, is they have a very similar ride to this for Indiana Jones with the same ride vehicles. And that's been a rumor for a long time that this was coming. However, they are not going to copy and paste that story from over there and bring it here. They're going to create a completely new one. And I think that's incredible. I think that's going to be very unique and fun. So.
Also, we almost forgot.
We did almost forget one last thing. We skipped over our notes on this one because she got excited about Encanto.
Zootopia is coming to the park. So it is taking the place of It's a Bug's Life.
It's tough to be a bug.
Oh, it's tough to be a bug. Yep. Bug's Life. So basically, It's a Bug's Life is like in a theater. You're kind of sitting there watching it. It's tough to be a bug.
Yeah, kind of a 4D
kind of
sort
experience.
of like theater experience. Yeah.
It was very late.
Yeah, especially
for us to
eyeball on
Flick.
Wasn't working properly.
It was really weird.
Needed a little TLC.
It looked bad. Moving on. So we're getting a replacement of It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Yeah. So, all right. we're going to move on to my favorite theme park at Walt Disney World, and that is Hollywood Studios. And that's going to bring me back to the thing we talked about Galaxy's Edge out at Disneyland. And that is that they are getting a new Mando and Grogu overlay inside of the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So this ride, we've ridden it 3 or 4 times, and we've gotten a different story each time, which means that this one is going to be added into it and will mix into the storyline. However, everything, I'm excited about it because the Mandalorian is one of my favorite characters of Star Wars, and it will mix in very well. Like, it's going to still be the, hey, you've got to smuggle the coaxium out to get it back, or whatever you're smuggling out to get back, and things like that. So you're still going to have, the 6-year-old who can't fly straight. That's still going to be there. Just kidding. Maybe. So, all right. And so this next thing, Ash is super duper excited about, and that is...
So I'm going to open up the way they opened up. So Billy Crystal came out and he started singing Monsters Inc. songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening?
If I had a best friend.
Right. And I thought to myself, like, what is happening? We were streaming it and our internet wasn't the best. And so it started buffering. I'm like, I need to know what is happening. And it's like frustrating.
More D23.
So like, it's been a minute. This song has to be over. They're already announcing it. And I started flooding into Facebook and I saw.
Right as she sees it.
They came back on and it was Monsters Inc. Land is coming. We are getting to go onto the laughing floor and see what's behind those doors. It's super exciting. The new ride is going to include a suspended seat.
Coaster.
Yep.
It is going to be the first suspended coaster at any Disney park anywhere in the world. So
huge.
That is huge. So basically it's going to be a lot like, and this is my prediction here, and just judging by the ride vehicle that they showed, that it's going to be very much like Dragonflyer from Dollywood.
And the seats are like a canister, the laughing canister.
Yeah, they're kind of modeled. Well, if you look up at the top at that thing, it has 2 of them sitting up above you. And I think that's what's like projecting you through. Like you grabbed a hold of those to project you through to help you hang on. Yeah. Or maybe you accidentally grabbed a hold of one and you're shooting off through the laughing floor, through the doors. Who knows how this story is going to go. But I do have a feeling you're going to be riding with Sully and Mike Wazowski and Boo through these doors.
If Boo is there. I think it would be awesome Boo's there.
Definitely.
But the biggest question of the hour is, where is it going?
So here's our prediction, and some of the prediction of everybody else is that the Muppets area is going to be replaced by this.
Yeah, and maybe its last leg.
Maybe. So if you are a Muppets fan, which we are, we actually really like that place. Shameless admission. Maybe. I don't know. Don't make fun of us. We like them. They're funny. Okay? Back off. But no, really, it would be a shame if that does go out because it is a wholesome part of the park there at Hollywood Studios. So, anyway.
And construction does start in 2025. Yeah. So next year it's starting. We don't know when it's going to open. There was no,
2025. We've got a few months here to figure out where it's going to go.
Yeah, it's true.
So if you're a Muppets fan, you better find a way to get down there before they close it down. We're not saying that they are. We're not saying that they are, but they might. I'm not sure where it could go. However, they could move Muppet 3D to the launch bay and move the launch bay where it's supposed to go.
Moving on. So we're going to go into the most famous park, Magic Kingdom.
Yes. Magic Kingdom.
So Magic Kingdom is getting a tavern.
Yep.
A new tavern, which is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean themed. It's been announced before, but it's going to be open next summer. So.
Yep. And D23 had some concept art, so that's why we're talking about it. And they actually gave a date of when it's opening. So. Yeah. That's why it's being brought up.
Another great announcement.
Pixar getting some love again.
Yeah, so there's gonna, hold on a second. Hold on. You cannot forget this. Nighttime parade.
Oh, shoot. I got ahead of our notes.
I'm ashamed.
Apologies.
Moving on. So there is a nighttime parade coming to Magic Kingdom, and it's going to be called Disney Starlight. With that, we don't have to pay extra money to see a nighttime parade like we do for the Christmas party and the Halloween party. I'm super excited about this. We finally get that nighttime parade entertainment coming in. So great job.
I wonder how that's going to work in the summer months. Are they just going to be open later in the day?
Yeah.
Probably
Why not?
So. Okay. Fair enough.
Now
but
back to your...
Back to my Pixar almost early announcement here. In the area of Frontierland, which did see some construction this year.
What's behind Big Thunder Mountain?
Well, so that is a thing. Actually, let me get to this.
See, look at us getting exciting about other things.
I know. Frontierland did see some construction with Splash Mountain being transformed into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which it did spark some controversy amongst, but whatever. I have heard the Tiana's Bayou is a great story. It's a lot of fun. Whatever, to each their own. We haven't ridden it, and whenever we do get the opportunity to ride it, we will judge for ourselves. So, that being said, that area of Frontierland is about to see some more construction. That being in the way of Cars. Okay.
Cars Land.
There is going to be, yes, a Cars Land. It is going to feature 2 rides, a thrilling ride through the mountains, and one family-friendly one, and construction starts next year. That being said, with the ride through the mountains, and that they're getting their whole other separate land, people were worried that possibly Big Thunder Mountain was on its way out. I don't think so with it being a full-on land. I think that it is going to be put in possibly between Tiana's Bayou and there where you go down underneath to get up onto the train station. I think that they may be taking that whole train station out. Possibly.
I doubt that.
Or you're just going to go underneath it and go into a Cars Land on the other side, which I believe there is room over there. I'd have to look on Google Maps just to be a little bit more precise and for sure. However, with the whole driving through the mountains thing, you could also put it behind Big Thunder Mountain to make the mountains landscape even more noticeable, I guess, and more frontier-y. Huh, this guy. So much misinformation thinking he knows stuff. No, just kidding. Disney actually released something post us filming this about where Cars Land was going to go, and that is actually going to be at Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. And so, yeah, I'm going to overlay that now when Past Me starts talking again, because, you know, that guy's an idiot. This guy, I'm much smarter now. But anyway, that being said, guys, keep listening, keep watching, and listen to what I thought the place was going to be. And I'm also filming this on my phone, so sorry. However, Ash has a little discrepancy here with Cars going into Frontierland.
I don't like it. When I think of the Cars movies, I do never, ever think of Frontierland.
No.
I do realize that some people feel the same way about Tiana's Bayou, but they've kind of incorporated the country critters.
Yeah, well, it's also the South, so I kind of...
They're grasping, in my opinion. I can see where the people believe that they're grasping, and I extremely think that Disney is grasping onto Cars Land.
With
but
this, I can see where she's coming from, but I also think like it's the part of travel, going out into the frontier. You know, that's the grasping part that she's...
But I think once we see it done, and Disney is all about theming and making the story tell. And so, therefore, once I see it, I think I'll love it. But right now, just thinking about it, I'm like, oof.
Can I just drive Tow Mater in reverse? That's all I want to do.
I cringe on the inside right now.
We're going to get her done!
But yeah, we'll wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and so the biggest announcement, and this is something that has been rumored to go in behind Big Thunder Mountain for the longest time, and that is a...
Villains Land!
Yes.
The history behind Villains Land. Last year at D23, they threw it out there as a Blue Sky project. What is a Blue Sky project? That is basically creators of Disney sitting there, Imagineers sitting there going, well, this would be a cool idea.
It would be a cool idea.
Could we do it? What would people think? Yeah. And so they throw that out on D23, like kind of saying, this is what we're thinking, but what do you guys think?
Yeah.
People went nuts.
Oh, yeah,
over
they
this
lost
idea.
their minds.
We didn't even see really concept art. It just kind of showed some dark clouds over behind Thunder Mountain, and everybody went nuts. And then we heard crickets.
Yeah, hadn't heard anything about it. Nothing was even said. And then Josh DeMauro is out there, and it starts playing the Hunchback of Notre Dame music.
The dark stuff.
The
like
dark
the
stuff.
evil music.
And then the mirror on the wall face shows up and says, Josh DeMauro, you promised something about a land so twisted and all this other stuff, because I don't want to talk about that. And then everybody was like, excuse you? And then he says, how about a little persuasion? And then somebody came out and they sang a song. And then Josh DeMauro came back and goes, all right, guys, we are doing a Villains Land. And
it goes crazy. There's screaming. There's
people
just excitement.
are losing their minds because like they just wanted it officially announced. Like everybody, I think, knew it was coming. We kind of thought so too.
I had lost hope.
Well, when I first saw the mirror show up, and I said, they're going to do it. Oh my God, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so that being said, we're going to talk about some predictions here with this Villains Land. And why we're talking about the Josh DeMauro speech of him talking about it was because he for sure dropped some hints after he talked about the two major attractions that are coming in.
He's been playing on his words the whole time.
Yes.
And you're sitting there like analyzing. I feel like I'm an FBI analyst, like overthinking everything, but so he's smart.
Correct.
He's doing this.
So unlike the Cars Land and the Monsters Land that were announced, they talked about the rides that were there. So for example, the Monsters ride being a suspended coaster, we know what that is.
We see concept art of it.
However, we only see concept art of the Villains Land and that there's going to be two major attractions, but not what they are. However, I, for some reason, got to looking at this Villains Land and went, I'm deep diving into this. And maybe this is just my, like, baseball analytical person, but I went, hey, those thorns look like tracks back there in the background.
What do you think, Ashley?
I show it to her, and she goes, it does.
Yeah.
It really does. And I said, that's got to be a Maleficent ride. Because you see her castle back in the background.
The colors are black and purple.
Yep. And her dragon is off here to the left. And what happens in Sleeping Beauty? Her dragon fires or breathes fire into a bunch of thorns. So, coaster riding along thorns.
2 + 2 = 4, right?
Yeah, basically. I thought you were going to say 1 + 1 = 2, and I was like, wait, what? No. I heard that totally differently than what you said. But anyway, that being said, since this is going to be more geared towards adults, in my mind, is that coaster is going to be a thrill coaster. They've seen the success, of Tron. People keep trying to ride Tron. People keep going back to ride Tron. Tron is always getting a virtual queue. Tron. It is, to me, it's kind of a woo done coaster.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not very long. And I think they've learned from that. And I think they see that more people want thrill rides at Magic Kingdom. The success of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Kind of a thrilling family coaster. It's great.
It's a great coaster.
I think this, since thorn vines go in circles, I think we're going to see some inverted roller coaster. An inverted roller coaster at the Magic Kingdom at Villains Land.
Yeah.
Personal opinion, it's going to be Maleficent themed. So there's that. Then I got to diving a little bit closer. I saw some little castles off over here to the side. One of those, I am assuming, is of one of two mansions. The Evil Stepmothers or Cruella de Vil's. Those are my two possible things.
Interesting.
Is what I think those are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So those could be that. There's going to be, of course, some meet and greets. There's going to be some quick service. Mm-hmm. There's going to be at least a quick... I'm guessing. We are guessing.
Well, if you go off of the history of like Toy Story Land, which is one of the more recent lands that have been built, you have a quick service and you have a table service.
Is there a quick service and a table service?
Yes, absolutely.
There's
Woody's Lunchbox and then the Roundup
Woody's
Rodeo.
Roundup Barbecue. Yeah.
Rodeo.
Yeah. So there's most likely going to be a quick service and a sit down tables, full table service restaurant. Which will ultimately be Villains themed. And she was talking about
There was like a villains TV show that I remember back when I was a kid, where like all the villains showed up and they had like there was a show on
like a
where
TV
they were eating.
where they were all eating dinner.
Yeah, like they were all eating, and then there was like a stage, and they were watching a show, and I just can't remember it. But like I think it's on Disney Plus. I'm gonna have to Google it. If you know, please tell in the comments.
Check on Disney Plus and find out one or two.
I know this was a thing.
But please comment below. Let us know about it. So, that being said, we think those things are coming in. Plus character meet and greets. Plus probably roaming villains. Mm-hmm. But there was one other thing that I noticed in the bottom center, in the water, and this also brought me to one of the things that made me start looking was Josh Tomorrow said, "You poor unfortunate souls."
He made a point to say that.
And yes,
that's what I felt like.
Made a point to say those words, and I went, okay, we're getting some Ursula attraction here.
Something Ursula.
If you look down here in the bottom center of this video or this concept art, there's a coaster underwater. Are we getting an indoor attraction possibly beneath Villains Land? Because, you know, there is a dragon underneath Paris's castle.
Yeah. In Disneyland.
It'd be kind of wild to see a coaster go beneath you under the water. And it could also be a reflection up over the top.
Yeah.
Who knows? But this is for sure a coaster. You can see the tracks. You can see the people sitting in it. Villains Land's getting 2 coasters. I already know it. They're getting 2 coasters, and one of them is a super thrill one.
Okay.
I'm telling you now. And they're going to be Ursula and Maleficent themed. You guys can quote me on that right here, right now.
So, along with everything that was just talked about, we don't know when construction starts on this. We have no idea. It was not listed or not said as to when construction will start, when it will be done. It could be 5 years down the road. We just don't have any idea.
Yeah. Could be 4, 5, 6,
and
7,
in that time
looking at you, Tron, 8, what?
And in that time, I hate to say it, but things change. Plans change. You could take away a ride, potentially. We've seen it done before, and it could occur again.
It did. So you say that happened with Galaxy's Edge. There was an attraction taken out, a ride that was taken out, and that's possibly due to the fact that they could add it back in later on, because the queue is still there, and we can get into that later on. But that is not about this right now. But anyway, that being said, guys, if you like this video and you've got some Disney friends, please share this video out with them. It would mean a lot to us. As well as if you subscribe and like this video by hitting those buttons, as well as the
bell notification button,
so that you guys don't miss out on this. This costs you literally nothing to do, and it really helps us out, lets us know that you guys care about us. We care about you. That's why we give you guys these videos, and we are so looking forward to everything that Disney is bringing, because we are wanting to do a little bit more of, other than just Silver Dollar City. We want to dive into a little bit more theme parks. Which is why we are going to other ones as well. So expect some Universal stuff and that Epic Universe video that we were talking about as well. So anyway, that being said, with that,
bring on the next adventure.
Bye, guys.